Hello everyone, this is Aaron. What I wanted to do is just create a short little video here just to kind of visually go through a couple things as we are underway with the debate. Many of you have started or will be starting gathering the research for the affirmative side of this debate, and we are getting close to preparing as well for the negative side. First thing I want to do is just thank you for taking part in this. I know it takes a great deal of patience and perseverance and grit on both the teacher and student end as we work through to coordinate all the locations to work together in this debate. And like every year, like everything in life, there's times where things glitch, internet goes down, things work, things don't work. Um, and so I think there's a lot of great life learning lessons that develop naturally through this debate project. So I thank you as we get ready to unroll and unravel this project with your patience and everything else to go through to make this work. So what you're looking at here first, um, let me scoot back one spot. We have here the Revolution Debate kind of handbook for the teachers. I've been trying to update and keep this organized as things develop and roll out. I have standards and things like that. And if at any point you have things that you think would be helpful to add, please feel free to do so. I want this to be kind of a crowdsourced document of sorts so we can all benefit. As you probably already well aware and know, in part one, the official school rosters just have the emails for everyone in case you need any help or need to reach out with anyone. We do have um, judges for every single debate this year, so that's going to be super nice and super helpful. So thanks to Monty and Trisha for doing that, and the rest of you for doing this debate. As we get going with the organization, I think we're sitting at around 125 debate projects at this point, and we can get to that spreadsheet here is now hyperlinked. Most of us have that figured out, and it looks really well. The thing that I put out in some of the emails are just the calendar and deadlines. So we've adjusted a little bit in case you've missed that in the last week or so. So just make sure you have those ready to go. And as we get going, if we need to adjust some of these middle dates in between, we just need to keep the communication lines open and just stay in contact with one another so everybody can be on the same page. I really do think our hard deadline is November 18th. This will give our judges time to, or excuse me, our last speaker needs to be done by November 11th. That's our hard deadline. That gives the judges a week to get all their stuff in by the 18th, so I can turn around, tabulate the data, and get out the results to you before Thanksgiving break. So there's nothing hanging over and dragging this project out longer than it needs to be. In terms of the collaboration, I will get a folder shared. I haven't posted this yet, but I will. And so there's things that you're using, templates and graphic organizers or lessons or slides, whatever it is that you're using. I think it'd be helpful if we all share that, not to unveil secrets, so to speak, but to help us all become better teachers. So last year we had a folder, we shared all the stuff we had. So if you were doing this for your second year, if there's things that you're doing or using, I think it'd be nice for us to have this kind of crowdsourced collection, and we can maybe pick and choose and maybe learn a tip or two from the other teachers. I want to go over the debate structure just to make sure we're all on the same page with this when we get into Voicethread. The affirmative speaker, number one, is going to start off the debate. They will be opening up, explaining the statement, explaining their stance and role of what it means, and then coming out with their first one or two or three points of contention depending on their structure. The first speaker probably has it the most difficult in the sense that you have 5 to 7 minutes, but there's nothing to really refute at this point because you are opening up the lines of communication. So just a strong stance is really, really helpful for you as you go forward. Now, what's going to be really important for this debate to work and to be an honest and authentic debate when your students go to listen to the speaker, we would like them to listen, put together a plan, and record their response within 1 hour. What we don't want to have happen is, let's take affirmative speaker number one speaks. The next day, the kids listen to it, and then they spend 2-3 days planning their rebuttal, gathering research, and then they record. That's not authentic. Yes, it is an asynchronous debate. I mean, it's not live, but we want to try to mimic that as much as we can. I think that pressure and that stress on the kids to think quickly, to be prepared, is huge. That's the beauty of this project. That's the challenge. So, in your schedule, the best you can, when they go to listen, they have basically a 1 hour window to plot how they're going to respond. And so, if I'm a negative speaker, these guys need to have their open remarks ready. Their points of contention are not contention. Their points are going to bring to persuade the judges, so to speak, on the negative side of this. And they've also need to have done some research on what they think the affirmative side is going to bring to the table. They don't know what they're going to say, but they need to be prepared. And while they're listening, the team should have their notes, their computer, all their stuff ready, and they're making notes and slides and additions. And so when they're done listening, they can either one, listen to it again, or two, start gathering those key bullet points and putting that into their notes to be able to bring to the table. It needs to be a furious pace, so to speak. But the more that they're prepared ahead of time, the better off they're going to be. For us, we have 43 minutes to get this done, and so we don't even have a true hour. But I want you to adhere to that, and if we can all keep to that pace, that's an authentic way of doing this. I know it doesn't always work, but that's really what we're after. Because if other teams have several days to prepare, it kind of loses its luster in terms of forcing those kids to think quickly on their feet and then to be able to deliver, because that's what life is about there. Then the same kind of process. The affirmative speaker, number two, will come back. They will refute anything the negative speaker has talked about, as well as add any new information. By the second speaker, all information has to be out. The third speaker is not able to bring in new information. So whatever their points are need to be shared by the end of the second speaker. The negative speaker, too, does the exact same thing. He or she can refute the first two speakers, bring out any new information, and really kind of get all that out there. Then what happens is the negative speaker 3 goes again. This is a shorter one of 3 to 4 minutes, also quite difficult because they have to wrap everything up. This is their closing sales pitch. They need to highlight the key points. They need to highlight how they have proven that their side has won this debate, and then any kind of final ideas that they want to refute and rebuttal in this process. And then the affirmative closes it out. They're trying to prove without a doubt that yes, indeed, it is justified. The negative is just simply trying to plant a seed of doubt, much like a court of law. So that's how that works. We've given you lots of information and outlines and things to use to get you started. There's also an example from last year if you would like to look at that. I've also added the Voicethread information. This is to the group. The template I've put in, and then a link to all the account logins. So the account logins are here. That's that link. And Voicethread has been super nice to help us out. I'm sorry for the late notice, but it was well worth having a little bit of patience. So the kids will use the login from their debate. So if I'm signed up for debate 2 in Voicethread, this is the login I would use. I would go up and I would use debate2 at debate.com revolution. That's when I use the login to do my debates. This worked really smoothly last year. We didn't have any problems. I don't expect it to be an issue at all this year either. If there is issues or things aren't working, please let us know. So when you get into voicethread.com and you log in with your teacher account, you can see all the debates. You're going to have a group tab over off to the side. Excuse me, yours is going to be right here, these 3 horizontal bars. And you can choose show my groups, and this is what's going to pop up. And if you were part of it last year, you should still have access to Revolution Debate 2015. If not, this is your first time or second year, you'll also have this 2016. Every single debate is loaded. The kids will have access to all of them, so just please be cautious of that and maybe let them know not to mess with the other debates because they'll have that power to do so. So that part is important. But when they go down and open up their debate number, this is what they're going to see in Voicethread. It operates just like last year. We've got different slides. This here just is a statement. And then we've got our speakers. So they're going to look for their speaker slide. This is where speaker 1, both affirmative and negative, are going to record their audio. This is where speaker 2 is going to do the same thing. Speakers 3. And then the judges will leave feedback here on this slide. The judges will also be filling out a rubric, which we'll be sharing here in just a little bit with you as we get that loaded up. So here's how this works. Whether you're on a computer or a phone or iPad, it all works relatively the same way. There is this plus down here at the bottom. You're going to click that, and you've got a variety of options. The microphone allows for audio. You could do video if you prefer or want to have that open. That's something we've talked about maybe doing now that we have Chromebooks. I think visually seeing the other student could really be a nice benefit, but it's strictly your choice and what works on your school and internet. So they're going to click this audio comment here, and they're going to have to allow their camera and everything. It's going to count down, and when it does that, it starts recording. And you can see down here the timer. I could write on the slide, but there's no need to, and it just records everything. When you're done, the kids just click stop recording. It starts recording. You can see down here the timer. I could write on the slide, but there's no need to, and it just records. So I like that comment. I'm going to click save, and it's going to post it right over here. So now when the other teams go to their slide deck, it's going to be visible, and it'll automatically play when they come to this slide. So that's the beauty of Voicethread. So as we go through here, the other thing that's new this year is we are going to ask for teams to do 2 comments. One is the audio. Whether they do the audio or video doesn't matter, to actually be able to hear them. The second piece that we would like for them to do is to add a text comment. And in here is where we would like for them to copy and paste if they have a script or an outline, and more importantly, their sources that they've used, to post that in there as well. Last year, we had a couple debates where it was hard to hear, the volume was low, or maybe a student was a little difficult to understand. And so if we have their outline, their script, their sources, all that posted in a text comment, they could follow along and look at that to make sense of it. The other thing that would be huge is in the text, by citing their sources, it eliminates the debate part that happened time and time again last year, where the kids focused so much on the kids not citing their sources, and I think they lost sight of what we were actually debating. And so if you just put your sources in there, your outline, your script, however you're structuring in your class, that eliminates all of that and allows, I think, for the debate to go a little bit smoother. So if you can do that, 2 parts, audio, video, and then another comment with their text, that would be fantastic. Say a student loads up the comment, decide they don't like it, you just go to the comment and you select the trash can, and it will delete it for you. But then what happens, as they click through the slides here, you'll see it automatically play. It starts recording. You can see down here the timer. I could write on the slide, but there's no need to. So it's a pretty smooth function. I don't know of any other tool that will allow us to do what we're doing here. So that's how Voicethread works. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out and let me know. The last thing that we have is our debates. We are still short about 20, 21 teams for this debate. And so I'm looking to try to get one more class signed up. But if not, we're going to have to think about something here. I'm not sure what that is. Ideally, it'd be nice not to have Bettendorf students debate Bettendorf students. I think it kind of loses the luster of the project. So I don't know where we are, but one of the things we might have to do, if some of you would be willing, is to maybe have some of your groups maybe debate two, if that would be possible. I don't want to go that route, make that decision yet, but if that's something that you think you could do, that would be great. And I've got a couple classes I'm really hoping will jump on this, but it's been a bit tricky. People, it's kind of overwhelms them a little bit. So think about that. As the affirmative, could some of your teams handle debating 2 times? And if they do, we could obviously make some adaptations and make sure it goes smoothly for them. So other than that, that's a quick overview. That's what I wanted to share in the Skype call and answer any questions. I've just been updating some of the key emails back in the handbook down here as we go through in case you need to reference those. And other than that, if there's anything you need, please feel free to reach out. I look forward to it. I think this is going to be an exciting moment as, we're getting underway here in our debate as the first speaker, is sitting here with about 6 days left to get it done. So best of luck. Feel free to reach out to me with any questions you have. Reach out to the group if you have ideas or things like that. And until the next update or email, which I'm sure will always be soon, best of luck. Thank you so much, and let's make this a great debate.